This is the Foo Hot Mongolian Grill. This could be the most massive casino that I have seen outside of Las Vegas. It is huge. It's got to be 150,000 square feet.
So we are off to the state penitentiary, the South Dakota Maximum Security State Penitentiary. And honestly, like, I'm a little bit scared, but at the same time, I'm very excited to experience what it's like to go to a prison, get some training. Oh, look who it is. And yeah, no, I'm really excited. And the biggest thing is we're going to be safe. We're going to have a great tour guide, thanks to Mark. So I'm excited. What about you?
I never thought this day would actually ever happen. I mean, this is just one of those things that you normally only think you'll ever see on TV. Going to a maximum security prison, seeing, you know, some of the most dangerous people, you know, in the country or anywhere. And interestingly enough, we were talking to Mark yesterday, saying that actually the dangerous person in the facility right now is their youngest prisoner.
Yeah. What is he, like 15?
As a teenager.
Yeah.
They're saying that he is an absolute psychopath,
nightmare.
Diagnosed psychopath.
Yeah.
And he said that they need 3 staff just to
take care
approach
of
him. So anyways, it's going to be quite the day. Unfortunately, we can't bring you with us.
No phones allowed in the prison.
But we'll be giving you a full recap, and everything that we recall we'll describe to you, and it's going to be an eye-opener, no doubt. We're just a couple minutes away from being there. It's going to be a good day. Thank you for checking out the channel here. Big thank you to Southland Volkswagen for their help in making this all happen. We'll check in with you in a bit.
It was at this point of the prison tour where we had to turn our cameras off and no recording devices inside, although we did manage to lift some photos from Google Images, and these are all areas that we had a chance to tour and that we recognize. So here's some of the images that we had a chance to see, and now we're going to give you the opportunity to check it out. I found it fascinating. The older portion of the facility was built in 1881. Many renovations inside since then, but the outer facade remains basically the same for over 120 years. As you can see, in many ways it looks like prisons that you might see on TV, but there were many other things that we thought were completely fascinating, interesting, in some cases sad, depressing, but alas, it is all a way of life for those inside the South Dakota State Prison. As you can see, razor wire everywhere where it's possible to climb. The only execution chamber in South Dakota is right here. Last time this table was used was in 2012 after an inmate overpowered a guard in the, I believe, the metal shop, and during a botched escape attempt, that correctional officer lost his life. As you can see, a very old historic facility that's been used for many, many years in the state of South Dakota. Of course, guards inside the tower when there are inmates out in the yard, and perhaps even around the clock. As you can see there, that facility, that building on the right, was at one time where the warden lived. However, the warden does live off-site right now. The Jameson Annex, where many of the most dangerous inmates are being held. It's also a newer building on the site. Industry is a big thing in this facility as well. They've got a metal shop, they've got a wood shop, a printing press, and so on. They do a lot of fascinating things, and the inmates work very hard to try to make a difference. And they do just that. Repairing wheelchairs that are sent off to Haiti and other third world countries. There's a wood shop as well, where among other projects, they make toys for children that are then sent off to third world countries. An amazing project. They also make furniture for state buildings across the state of South Dakota. Recreation in the yard, of course, happens when the weather's good. There's lots of snow and the climate is cold, though, in South Dakota, and so sometimes when it is cold, recreation does have to happen indoors. The chapel project is fascinating as well. This chapel was fully restored by the inmates in the wood shop, upholstery, and a tremendous job. One of the inmates even learned how to make stained glass, which adorns the walls of this particular chapel. Artistry, murals, beautiful ones like this you'll find in some of the hallways. And the Paroled Pup Project is fascinating as well. Dogs that are abused and abandoned throughout the state are sent to South Dakota State Prison, where inmates work with the dogs, and the dogs then are adopted out to other folks in South Dakota. Oftentimes, correctional officers will adopt them out, but there's been a number of dogs that have been adopted out in other ways as well. So a great program at the South Dakota State Prison. So there you go, guys. That's just been a glimpse of what we saw at the South Dakota State Prison. Thanks again to Mark Schlosser, our friend, for showing us around in here. An absolutely fascinating place. We've got one more video coming up in this series, and that will capture the trip home. So thanks for checking out this video, guys. We appreciate it.